Hey guys, you're back with LTF1. We've got another short podcast for you today. We're going to be discussing what we think the midfield is going to look like next year. Yes, Raj.
Should we not change clothes then? Because it looks a bit weird.
No, it's fine. For everyone watching, we are recording these videos back to back, the next few videos that you're seeing, because our schedule is quite tight. So we will be wearing the same clothes. We're not tramps. We are just doing one long recording.
Some of us are.
Some of us are. Ishan's a tramp.
Yeah.
Moving on. What was I even saying? Yes, the midfield battle. I'll throw it straight to you both. Where do you think the midfield is going to be next year?
Right. So in terms of the midfield, I'd probably say I think Ferrari will definitely make a comeback, and that will be the top two, Ferrari and Mac, because after one season of going around not even making it into the last qualifying session, I think Ferrari will definitely sort out their act. But in terms of the next two teams, Red Bull will be third, and then McLaren, who performed exceedingly well this season, will definitely be challenged by the likes of Aston Martin with the drivers that they've got as well. I feel like with Vettel, he's got a point to prove as well now, because he's had a poor season, and people are starting to question his ability. Because it'll be 8 years this year since he last won a world championship. So yeah, I feel like Aston Martin and McLaren will be heading that mid pack and pushing the top two teams.
My opinion is going to be completely different to Raj's, because I don't think Ferrari will be in the top two. I don't think Ferrari will be in the top three. Because of how bad they are this season, I think it'll be another 2 to 3 years before they get back into the top two. My opinion. Shake your head as much as you want. I think the top two is going to be Mercedes, Red Bull, same as last year. Third, I think will be McLaren personally, because they were so good this year. The money boost that they'll get from that, and the drivers they've got as well. McLaren, Lando Norris looks good. He's getting better every year. Danny Ricciardo, he's established. You know, he's a really good driver. He showed it at Red Bull. He showed it at Renault, and he's going to do another really good job here. Fourth, this is controversial, but I think it's going to be Aston Martin. I think it's going to be Aston Martin because I just think they'll have a better car than Ferrari this year. And Vettel's experienced. He's a great driver, 4-time world champion. He can do it again. Last season's a bad season for him, but he can do it again. Lance Stroll, again, he's underrated. I think he's really underrated because he is, yes, a pay driver, but it doesn't take away the fact that he had a decent year this year and he has a lot of potential, I think. And then after those two, that's where I can see Ferrari this year. I think this will maybe their last or penultimate year in sort of midfield battles, and then I think they'll be back to the top two or top three.
I'm gonna agree a little bit more with Raj. I think Ferrari will be there or thereabouts at the top of the midfield because they have so much infrastructure and so much ability to spend that I don't see how they can't turn it. Like they should be able to turn it around. I think they are going to be fighting with the Red Bulls maybe, but I'm putting Ferrari to finish slap bang in the middle of the midfield still because I think Sainz and Leclerc are going to come together on track so often. A lot of the times we saw Vettel backing out of things to make sure that they didn't crash. I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like there's going to be quite maybe by the end of the season, bitter rivalry between Leclerc and Sainz, and that's just going to drop and afford Ferrari a lot of points. Aston Martin, yeah, I think they're going to do well, but I think McLaren's going for that third place again. And I can see them getting it, especially with Mercedes power in the back. Even though Renault were catching them, maybe even ahead of them at the end of last season, I just have a little bit more faith in McLaren to keep it going. They've got two quality drivers. Ricciardo possibly may prove his worth and wipe the floor with Norris. I feel like that could happen. And that might be quite a big shock. But yeah, I've got McLaren dominating the midfield at least.
So you're saying McLaren third then?
Yeah. McLaren, maybe Aston Martin, and then Ferrari.
You're agreeing more with Raj, but
I'm agreeing. No, I'm
the same order as him.
No, but I'm saying on pace, I agree with Raj. They are going to have the pace, but I think like reliability and drivers is going to cost them too many points. and it's going to be that tight, hopefully, that just those 2 or 3 races dropped is going to mean a lot in the Constructors' Championship.
And I think in the year that Ferrari have had a small decline, well, a big decline, I think from that 1 year, the other teams that have caught up, Racing Point, Aston Martin, and McLaren, and even Renault to an extent, did last year. I don't think they will this year, but I think it always takes 2 to 3 years to come back from it, and I think it'll be the same here because the other teams, McLaren and Aston Martin, as I said, they've caught up, so they're going to need to get back on top again, and I don't think they'll do it immediately or within a year.
Possibly not. One team we've not spoken about but has a lot of room to grow, AlphaTauri, with their closer Red Bull connections now as the sister team rather than the junior team. They could pull out a surprise. They could be a white Red Bull. What about Williams? You think Williams is going to be lower midfield, fighting for points every so often?
I'm hoping that they are. Again, I think I might have said it on a podcast before, but I'm really hoping that the bottom of the grid next year is closer to the midfield, like with Williams especially, because I like Williams, and they're getting new ownership this year, so hopefully that'll mean more investment. So hopefully they'll have a better car. And George Russell's apparently taken some things away from the Mercedes car and not copied, but apparently the next Williams car is going to be slightly inspired by it. So hopefully it'll be more competitive because they're a team that have so much history in F1. I really want them to do well. But yeah, AlphaTauri, I really like Gasly. He's a really good driver. And Sonoda, who we have another video on, please watch it. I narrate it. Thank you. Is another driver with high potential. So yeah, they could put out a surprise next year. And I hope they do. I think next year is going to be one of the tightest years in the last sort of 2 or 3 years.
You also wrote that video, the Sonoda one, and as pointed out by a couple of the commenters, you called Japan a little known country.
It's sarcasm. Learn what sarcasm is.
Right. When it comes from you, it doesn't sound like sarcasm. But I don't have faith in the Ferrari powered teams because although Ferrari might pull their act together on the aero side, their engine's still going to be a dog. So I'm saying Haas and Alfa Romeo, 19th and 20th most races, their cars will be. And that's why I think Williams is going to be able to pull something out back.
Yeah, I think Williams will look like they're improving. So next year, I think will be the chance for them to start fighting for points again.
Raj, anything to end us?
I do think that Williams, everybody forgets that just a couple of years ago with Massa and Bottas, they were challenging for wins and they were at 3rd and 4th consistently. And the rapid decline, like we spoke about it in our other video about McLaren and their fall. But in terms of Williams, they've fallen as well. So they have shown the capacity to be up there and challenging. It's just getting up there and challenging once again. And with the drivers that they have, do I feel like they will be able to? Probably not. But you never know. It's Formula One. With that, we'll end the video.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And you can follow us on Twitter at LTF1Official, Instagram at LTF1Official, like, comment, subscribe, and